In this video, we're going to go through on 2024 Primary 6 Preliminary Examination Mathematics Paper 2. So let's get started on the first question. Okay, question 1 says the figure shows the amount of water in a beaker. 50 ml of water was added into the beaker for the water to reach the level as shown. How much water was there in the beaker? So in this, we need to know how many gaps are there from the bottom to the top. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, always count the number of gaps. So 10 gaps, right, is equal to 250 ml. So one gap is equal to 250 divided by 10. This will give us 25, right? So let's double check. Why is 0 divided by 10? This is 25. Okay, so next thing is now we just need to count the number of gaps. So 6 gaps, right? So 6 gaps is equal to 25 times 6. Okay, and then 25 times 6, 150, right, ml. Okay, so it says here the what do you call this 50 ml of water was added into the beaker for the water to reach. So after, it was already 150 ml. So before, it was 150 minus 50, which was 100 ml. Okay, and then you can see here that it is in liters, so we need to convert this into liters, which is 100 divided by 1000, which is equal to 0.1 liters. Okay, there you go. So the answer is 0.1 liters. So it's not 1000 divided by 1. Okay, you can use calculator. 100 divided by 1000, 0.1 liters. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 2. The total number of marbles Sudin and James have is 384. The total number of marbles James and Raju have is 526. The ratio of number of marbles Sudin has to the number of marbles Raju has is 3 is to 5. Find the number of marbles James have. Okay, so what we know is that, okay, Sudin plus James is equal to 384, and then James plus Raju, or Raju plus James is equal to 526, right? So we also know that Sudin is equal to 3 units, okay, and then Raju has 5 units. So this is like we call a repeated identity, right? Repeated identity concept. Okay, so essentially, if you were to draw this out, you can actually minus off together lah, right? So you can draw a model. For me, I'm not going to draw a model. So essentially, if I were to minus Sudin and James, or I will just swap in, right? So this means that, okay, Sudin will be 3 units, and then Raju will be 5 units. Okay, so that means if I were to minus them off, okay, so Raju, let me just put this on top so it's easier. Yep, like this. Okay, then yep, so now let's do that. Okay, then we have a minus sign like this, make it a little bit bigger, and then this will then equal to, right, this will be, let me just create another line, 2 units. Okay, which is equal to, I'll just put 2 units over here, which is equal to, right, 526 minus 384 in this case over here. So let's use the calculator. 526 minus 384, which is equal to 142. Okay, 142 equal to 142. So that means, right, 1 unit is equal to 142 divided by 2, which is equal to 31. Okay, 142 divided by 2, 526 minus 384, okay, divided by 2, this will become 71 in this case over here, right? So now we want to find the number of marbles James have. So you can do whatever lah, right? So I think the easiest is just like, for example, In this case, 3 units is James. So James is equal to 384 minus 3 units. Okay, so that means times 71, and this will equal to, so for this 384 minus 3 times 71, okay, this will be 171. So James is 171 in this case over here. Okay, that's it. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 3. Okay, so EFGH is a trapezium with EFGH is a trapezium where EH is parallel to FG. So I'm gonna draw this thing over here. So this is equal to, well, why is it like that? Okay, it's equal to this. Okay, so IJKL is a parallelogram. So 1, 2, and then 3. Oops, 3 and then 4. Okay, so JF is equal to FM. JF is equal to FM. So this is equal to this, right? So find Y. So I'm gonna put Y as red so it's easier to see over here. Okay, so how do we find Y? So basically what we can do is we can get this angle, right? Since this is an isosceles triangle, because JF and FM is the same, that means we also can get this angle, right? So these two angles, so if we can get the green angle, then we can get the angle Y. So that means we also need to get the green angles, we need to get this JFM angle, which is from this trapezium over here, since these two lines are parallel to each other. Okay, so that means angle EFM or JFM, right? JFM is equal to 180, right? 180 minus 110, which is equal to 70 degrees. Okay, so we know that this yellow angle over here is 70 degrees, right? Then we can get FMJ. So angle FMJ is equal to 180, then minus 70, right? So divided by 2, right? And this will then become 2, it's going to become 55 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to write down here as well. Okay, since JF is equal to FM, that means JFM is a isosceles triangle. So it's an isosceles triangle. Okay, and FMJ is 55 degrees in this case over here. Okay, so 55 degrees and then 55 degrees. So I see over here. So then that means we can minus 180 from Y. That's what I see over here. Okay, so right angle Y is equal to 180 minus 55. Okay, let's see what is it equal to. So 180 minus 55, 125. Okay, there you go, 125 degrees. Right, and that's the answer, 125. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 4. Okay, a shop owner has 255 pens and pencils. One third of the pens is equal to 2/9 of the pencils. Find the total number of pencils over here. Okay, so equal fraction concept, right? So for this, what I want to do is, so one third of pens is equal to 2/9 of pencils. So we want to get it to convert, make numerators number the same. So that means this will be 2 out of 6 of pens is equal to 2 out of 9 of pencils, right? So then this step 1, okay, and then step 2, uh, convert the denominator to total units. Okay, so that means for this, So total pens is equal to 6 units. Then total pencils is equal to 9 units. Right. Okay, so from there we can know the total now. So total units is equal to 6 plus 9, and this is equal to 15, right? So that means 15 units is equal to 255. So you want to get pencils, 9 units is equal to 255 divided by 15 times 9, okay, which is the pencils over here. So this is pencils, right? And then this is equal to so 255 divided by 15 times 9. Okay, this will be 153. Okay, there you go. That's the answer. 153. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, question number 5. Ali is UCM tall. His mother is twice as tall as he. His father is 30 plus UCM taller than him. Each of the statement below is either true, false, or not possible to tell from the information given. Put a tick to indicate your answer. Okay, so I'm going to write down. So Ali is equal to U centimeter tall, UCM, and then mother is equal to 2UCM, and then father is 30U is equal to 30 plus u taller. So that means plus also u, which is 30 plus 2u, 2u, right? Cm as well. Okay, so now let's see what is the two statements. Okay, so Ali mother is taller than Ali's father. So is 30 plus are taller than him. So Ali's mother, this is false. Okay, then the total height of Ali and his parents is 30u plus 4u. So total height is equal to u plus 2u plus 30 plus 2u, which is equal to 30 plus 4u. Right, 30 plus 4u. Okay, correct. Cm in this case over here. Okay, so that means this is 30 plus 2. Oh, sorry, this is 5u, not 4u. 5u. So the answer is false. Oops. False. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 6. So total of 300 customers choose their favorite tropical fruits in supermarket. The pie chart represents the customer choices. You see over here. Half of the customers choose durian. Okay, so durian is one half. Okay, we know star fruit is one quarter because it's a what is this? This is a quadrant, right? Okay, so what fraction of the customers choose mango? Give your answers in the simplest form. Okay, so basically mango is equal to half minus one quarter minus 19 out of 100. That's roughly about it lah. Okay, so if you really want to get the answer to this, I would say just get everything lah, right? So durian, so to half durian percentage, right? Easier that way. Percentage half times 100 go to 50%. Okay, and then star fruit percentage is equal to one quarter times 100, which is 25%. And then guava is equal to 19. Guava percent is equal to 19%. So that means we just minus everything, lah, right? 100 minus 50 minus 25 minus 19, right? This is the percent as well. Okay, that means this is equal to, it's very small, right? Should be 6 lah, right? So 100 minus 50 minus 25 minus 19, okay, 6% percent, which is also 6%, which is also 6 out of 100, which is equal to 3 out of 50. Okay, so there you go. So the answer is 3 out of 50. Okay, so that's part A. Okay, so part B over here. Find the total number of customers who chose guava and starfruit. So guava and starfruit. So total of 300 customers. So total is equal to 300. Then star guava plus star fruit percentage is equal to 25 plus 19, which is equal to 44. 25 plus 19 equal to 44%. Okay, so that means customers who choose guava plus star fruit, okay, is equal to 300 times 44%, and that is equal to, so 300 times 40, whoops, times 44%, this will give you 132. I think we gotten this same number, but it's fine. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 7. The table shows the fines for overdue items from a library. So part A, it says here, Nadra returned a book which had been overdue for 6 days. How much did she pay for the overdue fines? Okay, so uh, 6 days is in the first week. I'll just write it down. Is in the first week. Okay, so that means total is equal to 6 times 15, or $0.15. Okay, and this is equal to 6 times 0.15. Okay, 90 cents. So $0.90. Okay, there you go. That's the answer. 90 cents. All right. Part B, Sue Ann paid $3.45 for an overdue item. Name the item that was overdue. For how many days was the item overdue? Okay, so a little hint to know where this $3.45. So I will say Sue Ann paid, right, dollars 3.45. Okay, so if I were to move this up, right, okay, so in this case over here, which since since it ends with 45 cents, that means it should be a book, means it is divisible, right, by 15 cents, 15, which is a book, which means she paid for a overdue book, right? So in this case over here, so we know that this is a book, right? Okay, so how long was it? So $3.45. Okay, so that means let's go through the first week. So first week like 7 days, which is equal to 7 times 0.15. Okay, zero calculator, should be $1.05. 7 times 0.15, this is $1.05. Okay, so $1.05. So remaining, right, so she paid $3.45. So 3.45 minus 1.05, oops, 05, and this will give us $2.40. Okay, so $240.40. So that means number of days second week onwards, which is equal to 2.40 divided by 0.30, should be 8. 2.4 divided by 0.3, wait, 2.4 divided by 0.3, 8 days. Okay, 8 days. So total days is equal to 7 first week plus 8 days equal to 15 days. Okay, there you go. So your answer is 15 days. Right, so 15 days over here. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. All right, question number 8. ABCD is a rhombus. Okay, so ABCD is a rhombus. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so an EFG is a triangle, right? That's what I see over here. So DC is parallel to EF. Okay, so this is parallel to each other as well. All right, so find ABC. So A, B, and C. Okay, so is this one. Just want to double confirm, but yeah. So it's this one. A, B, and C. Okay. So how do we get A, B, and C? In this case, the only clue that we can get is this, right? So A, B, and C is also equal to this part over here, right? And then we know one of the angle, which is 36. That means we can get the other angle as well, right? Which is, let me put a green angle. Okay, if we are able to get a green angle, then we can add it to 36 to become red. And the green angle over here, right, it's basically from this straight line over here, right? I'm just gonna draw a straight line to this. So you have 118 and then minus 80, get a green angle. Add a 36, you get a red angle in this case over here, right? Okay, so let's do that. So angle GDC, okay, is equal to 180 minus 118, right? Okay, let's use a calculator. Minus 118, and this will become 62 degrees. Okay, so now we know that this green color over here is 62 degrees, right? So since let's get angle ADC. So angle ADC is equal to 36 plus 62, which is equal to 98. Okay, double confirm. 36 plus 62 go to 98. Alright, so 98 degrees. Okay, so that means angle ADC is equal to, in this case, angle ABC. Right, so let's do that as well. Angle ABC, which is equal to 90 degrees as well. Okay, so the answer is 98 degrees over here. Hope it doesn't show. Okay, so this would then be 98 degrees. Right, let's move on to the next question. Find EFG. Okay, so EFG over here is this one. So let me just put 98 degrees to this over here. Make this black. Okay, so we want to get this angle, EFG, which is this rate over here. So how we get this angle rate over here is we can get this angle here, right? So if we can get this purple angle, we are able to use the triangle. So let me just make this purplish, blue purplish, right? And then we can use this triangle to minus, right? So we have 52 minus this blue angle to get this red angle that we're finding. So can we get the blue angle? Yes, we can. So since this is a parallel, not parallel, but it's a trapezium, right? So since since DC is parallel to EF, that means DCFE is a trapezium. Okay, right? So this is where we can solve this, right? So angle DEC is equal to 180 minus 118 again is equal to DEF, not DEC. DEF, okay, which is also 62 degrees in this case over here. Okay, 62 degrees and 62 degrees in purple. Okay, so now we know that this is 62 degrees as well. Then that means we are able to get this red line by just having 180. So angle EFG, right, is equal to 180, or is it GFE? EFG, correct. 180 minus 52 minus 62, and this will give us, use the calculator, 180 minus 52 minus 62, and this will give us 66 degrees. Okay, there you go. EFG is 66 degrees. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Alright, so question number 9, in the square grid below, CD and DE is straight lines. So measure and write down the size of CDE. Okay, so usually you want to extend this line, right, as far as possible so that you can get a more easier reading for this. And I believe your protractor is pretty big. Mine is pretty small, right? So now we align this protractor, and from here you can see what's the degrees. So this is roughly around 92 degrees over here, right? 92 and then degrees. Okay, so now the next part is we want to draw two more straight lines from to form a trapezium CDEF. So where CF over here is equal to D 2 times DE. So CDEF, so F is over here. So CF will be here, then DE is over here. So it's 2 times of this. So how do we measure? Usually what I'll do is I'll measure this little triangle over here. So 1 is to 2, right? So then you measure the same thing. So this is like one length, and then you do another one, but this time you just move it forward like this. Okay, so that means this line will end over here, and that's already 2 times the length. And after that, once you are done with that, then you can delete and draw this line as well. And then make sure you label this as a F, in this case over here. Right, there you go. So that's the answer to this question. Let's move on to question number 10. Okay, so question 10 says the number of participants in the marathon increased by 25% in November as compared to October. The number of participants in December decreased by 30% as compared to November. The difference in the number of participants between October and December was 18. Find the ratio of number of participants in October to the number of participants in November. Okay, so okay, so we can say that increase by 25 from October to November. So from October, okay, to November, it says here increase by 25%. So that means October will be 100, okay, and then November will be 125, right, in this over here. Okay, so that's the first part. Okay, the second part, the number of participants in December decreased by 30% as compared to November. So that means decreased by 30%. So if November, let's say, is around what do you call this? It's around 1 to 5 units, right? So that means for December it decreased by 30%. So December means 1 to 5 units, right? Times basically 100 minus 30. Okay, because it decreased by that, which is basically 70%. So we calculate. So 1 to 5 multiplied by 130 is 70%. Okay, and this is equal to 87.5 in this case over here. Okay, so from October to December increased by compared to November. So okay, so yeah, correct. So in this case, this will then be December. Okay, so that means for this, so we can write down here 87.5. Okay, so how can we then translate this to a better, I would say, thing, is to just multiply all of this by 2. So this will be 200, this will be 250, and this will be 87.5 times 2, which is equal to 175. 175. Okay, so we just multiply everything by 2 lah, in this case over here. Okay, right, so now we got this pop pop, oops, and this as well, right? So now we need to kind of simplify. So for October is to December, which is basically 200 is to 175. Okay, then we can divide this by 25. So 200 divided by 25, okay, 8. So let's do that. So this then will be divided by, why is it so big? Okay, one small. Okay, divided by 25, and then divided by 25. So that means this will then become, ooh, okay, a bit squeezy here, right? So I'm just going to move all of this here. Okay, so from here 285. This will then become divided by 25. What was I? 8, right? This is 8. Okay, and then 175 divided by 25. This will be 7. Okay, 7. In this case over here. Alright, so there you go. The answer is 8 is to 7. You just copy and paste it over here. Right, there you go. That's the answer. Alright, let's move on to the next question. Okay, part B. What was the total number of participants in December? Okay, so we know that difference between October and December is 18. So October, okay, is equal to 8 parts. Then December is equal to 7 parts. So that means difference is equal to 8 minus 7, which is 1 part. Okay, actually I can divide all of this thing over here. Okay, whatever. Okay, so we just divide everything here. Okay, so 250 in this case over here. Let me just put 8 is to 7 is to correct. What is in the middle? 250 divided by 25, 10. So 10 in this case. Right. Okay, so total number. So we want to get total parts. Total parts is equal to 8 plus 10 plus 7, which is equal to 25. Double confirm 8 plus 7 plus 10 equal to 25 parts. Okay, so that means for this, right, we know one part is equal to, if I'm not 13, right, 18. 18, that means 25 parts is equal to 18 times 25. This is equal to times 18, 450. Okay, there you go. So in this case, it's total number of participants in December. Whoops. So this should not, don't need care about the total parts. So that means for December is 7. Okay, which is 18 times 7. Okay, what was the total? Okay, then just 18 times 7, which is 126. There you go. So it's 126. Okay, so that's the answer, 126. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question 11a. So CT bought stickers from shop A, B, and C, and shop D. She bought an equal number of stickers from shop C and D. 1/4 of the stickers were bought from shop B. 2/5 of the stickers were bought from shop A. What fractions of the stickers were bought from shop C? Okay, so for this, what we can do is basically shop C. Shop C is shop C and D lah, right? Shop C and D is basically 1 minus 1 over 4 minus 2 over 5. Okay, so essentially if we get to the lowest common multiple, it will be 20 out of 20 minus 5 out of 20 and minus, this will be 8 out of 20. Right, so this will be 7. So calculator, 20 minus 5 minus 8. Okay, then this will be 7 out of 20. So shop C would then become equal to 7 out of 20 divided by 2. Okay, so that means 7 out of 20 times half, basically. So times half, this will be 7 out of 40 in this case. Okay, so shop C will be 7 out of 40 lah. Okay, so I'm gonna write here, since shop C and D are equal, and shop C is equal to 7 out of 2 divided 2. Okay, so City bought 133 stickers from shop D. What was the total number of stickers she bought? So this one, same thing, right? Since shop C is equal to shop D, so shop C is equal to shop D. Shop D is equal to 7 out of 40 as well. So convert. Actually, no need lah, right? 7 out of 40 stickers is equal to 133. So 40 out of 40 stickers is equal to 133 divided by 7 times 40, which is equal to, I think, 19 or something. So 133 divided by 7 times 40. Okay, this will be 760. Okay, there you go. So that's your answer, 760. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 12, it says here the bar graph shows how a group of students travel to school. The number of students is not shown on the scale. The bar for the number of students who walk to school has not been drawn. So, part A, one fifth of the total number of students who walk to school. So, draw the bar representing the number of students who walk. So, this is what we call, we just assume two units as well, right? So, this will be like one and so forth. So, for the car, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So car will be 6 gaps, right? And then for bus is 2 gaps. And then lastly, train is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is four gaps, right? So, right, 4 gaps. Okay, so um, non walk will be equal to 6 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4, which is equal to 12, right? So non-walkers are 12, okay? And then non-walk non-walk fraction is equal to 1 minus 1 over 5, right? So let me just move this a bit to where it's easier to see. Somewhere here, non-walk fraction is equal to 1 minus 1 over 5, which is equal to 4 over 5. Okay, so that means in this, I really see, can I put somewhere that's easier to see? But yeah, so non-walk is 4 over 5. Then that means 4 over 5 will be equal to 12. Then since one fifth, this 4/5 students are right. Students, it's got this, and then students is equal to 12 divided by 4. This will be 3. Okay, so that means the walk over here, even though it's pretty obvious what the answer is this one, right? It's 3. That's what you see over here. Okay, there you go. So this is, let's see if I can put this somewhere, but sure. Okay, all right. So can just put it as as like this, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so part B is the number of students who travel by train is 9p. Find the number of students who travel by car. Leave your answers of p as well. In this case over here. Okay, so by train is 4, right? So number of students travel by car like this. Okay, so with that said, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure. Okay, so so we know that train over here is like 4 units. So 4 units is equal to train, right? Let me just make this medium. Okay, is equal to basically 9p, right? So car is 6. So 6 units, which is car, is equal to 9p divided by 4 times 6, right? So in this case, it's basically 9p divided by 4 times 6, right? 9p divided by 4 times 6. This is 13.5p, 13 and 1 half p, right? Something like this, right? So yeah, or you can put 39 and a half, 0.5p also can lah, right? Right, doesn't really affect that much. Okay, so last part C, what is the difference between the number of students who travel by bus and those who travel by train when p is equal to 40? So we know that the difference between the bus So bus over here is 2 units. Okay, so let's go for 2 units is equal to, 2 units, which is bus, right? Double check bus. Yep, 2 units is bus is equal to, in this case, 9p, right? Divided by 4 times 2. Let's use the calculator. 9 divided by 4 times 2, 4.5p. Okay, so now we know the train is 9p and bus is 4.5p. So difference in p is equal to train traveled by bus and train. Bus and train, 9p minus 4.5p is equal to 4.5p. Okay, so that means 4.5p is equal to 4.5 times 40, which is equal to times 40. This will give us 180. Okay, there you go. So that's the answer, 180. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 13. It says pills C, D, and E are filled with water to the brim in the ratio of 3 is to 2 is to 1. So we're going to put here 3, okay, and 2, right, and then we have 1 over here as well. Right, so pail D contains 4.56 liters of water. 40% of water from each pail is poured into an empty tank. Then 80% of the tank is filled with water. What's the height of it? Tank A. So we know that pail D, D, which is 2 units, pail, pail D is equal to 4.56 liters, right? Okay, so 40% of each pail is added inside. Okay, so we want to get total units as well. So let's get 1 unit, which is equal to 4.56 divided by 2. This will give us 2.28. 4.56 divided by 2, 2.28. 0.28 liters. Okay, so total units is equal to 3 plus 2 plus 1 equal to 6. So 6 units is equal to 2.28 times 6, which is equal to, so times 6. This will be 13.68 liters. So we see over here. Okay, so we know that the total is 16.86 liters for all of this. It says here 40% water from each pail is poured into the empty tank. So water poured is equal to, which is 40%. So 13.68 times 40%, which is equal to, times 40%, 5.472 liters. Or if we convert this into centimeter cube, which is 5,472 centimeter cube. All right, so what's the height? So we can just have the height. So in this case over here, height is equal to volume divided by base area, which is in this case over here equal to 5472, and then divide by the base area, which is 32 times 19. Okay, and this is equal to, so 5472, so 32 times 19 is equal to 608. So 5472 divided by 0608, right? 9. So 9 centimeters is the height. Right. So this is the height of the water pot. Then, but it says here 80%. So this 9 centimeters is 80%. So 80% is equal to 9 centimeters. So 100% is equal to 9 divided by 80 times 100, which is equal to, so let's use the calculator, 9 divided by 80 times 100, which is equal to 11.25 centimeters. So that's the answer. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Part B. Find the capacity of tank A. Give your answer in liters. Okay, so yeah, the capacity of tank A is equal to base area times height. So length times breadth times height, which is equal to 32 times 19 times 1.25. Okay, let's use the calculator. So times 32 times 19, 6,840 liters, sorry, centimeter cube, right? Or in this case, equal to 6.84 liters, right? There you go. So that's the answer, 6.84 liters. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 14. So the line graph shows the monthly sales of fruits from January to May, right? So which 1 month period shows the greatest increase in sales, right? So I'll guess April and May because they have the steepest, or February or March. Okay, so we don't know which one. So we want to always double confirm. So in this case, we also want to check how many gaps and how much is one gap. So let's calculate how many gaps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So that means this will be 5 gaps is equal to 50. Right. 50 in this. So that means one gap is equal to 50 divided by 5, which is equal to 10 in this case over here, right? So we can calculate for each of this thing over here. So we want to see the increase. So we just want to see which one is bigger, February or March, or April or May. Okay, because the rest is not that big and there's a decline in, so it's a decrease from January to February. Okay, so from here we can get February, right? So that means this is 150, right? So I'm gonna write here, right, 150, 150. Okay, and then for March, this will be 250 in this case over here. So this one will be 250. All right. So next one will be April. Okay, let's see April. Whoops. Let's get a line for April. So April over here, it's around 230. Okay, right, so 230. And then for me over here, this is around, okay, 300 if I'm not wrong. Yep, 300. Okay, 300. Oops, let me just duplicate this to 300. Okay, so that means the increase from this to 150 to 250 is plus 100. Okay, plus 100. From 230 to 300, this is only 70. Okay, so my prediction was wrong, sadly. So the answer to this is February to March. Feb to March. Let me put here MER. Okay, let's move on to part B. What was the percentage decrease in the number of fruits sold from January to February? Okay, so January over here, let's see. Let's create another line from January. Is this one 200? Okay, so this one is 200, right? 200. Okay, so let's write down here January is equal to 200, and then February is 150. So decrease is equal to 200 minus 150. This will be equal to 50, right? So the percentage will be, percentage decrease is equal to 50 divided by 200 times 100 will be 25%. Right, let's just calculate 50 divided by 200 times 100. Whoop, whoop. Okay, to 25%. Okay, so that's the answer, 25%. Okay, let's move on to the next part, part C. There were 15% more fruits sold in June than in May. So June and in May, okay. What was the average number of fruits sold from February to June? So let's get the June, right? June is equal to, so the total is 300. So 300 times bracket 100 plus 15% more, right? Percentage. Okay, and this will be equal to, so 300 plus or times 115%, right? Okay, this will be 345. Okay, so we want to get a total from February to June. So total from Feb to June, okay, which is equal to okay, so from Feb to June is basically 150 plus 250 plus 230 plus 300. Okay, so let's double confirm this 250. This is 230. Okay, great. Right. So this one, okay, plus 345. Okay, so this one plus 345, and this is equal, where's my equal? All right, so 150 plus 250 plus 230 plus 300 plus 345, 1275. Let's try again. 150 plus 250 plus 230 plus 300 plus 345, 1275. Okay, great. So that's the answer for total fab. Then we want to get the average, which is 1 2 3 4 5. So average is equal to 1275 divided by 5. Okay, so let's divide by 5. This will be 255. Okay, there you go. So the answer is 255 for the per month from February to June. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 15. So it says here ECDG is a rhombus, and AC, so rhombus ECDG, so rhombus, okay, all sides are the same and parallel as well. So same, 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 and same. Okay, and ACDF is a trapezium. So ACDF is a trapezium, while AF, okay, is parallel to ACDF. That's what I see over here. Okay, so find BCE. So BCE is this one over here. So I'm going to draw a line. So I see over here. Okay, so to get this, how do we then get our angles? So first thing is we know that this is a, give me a second. So this is parallel. So from here we can get this angle. So I'm going to get this green angle, right? And then at the same time, are we able to get this angle? Because if we can get this angle, we can get this red angle over here. Right, so let me think about it. Right, we could get this angle over here. So this I'll put as purple. Okay, so at the same time, we also have this trapezium 107 degrees. And this, we can get this angle as well, right? So this is, I would say, pink. Pinker one, the pink. Okay, so if we can get this pink and half of a rhombus itself, right, is a isosceles triangle, as what you see over here. So that means this is also the same as this. So if we can get these two angles, we can get this purple angle, and then minus, we get this green minus the purple to get the red angle, as what we see over here. Okay, let me just, yeah, okay, I think that's great. All right, so first thing is let's get this pink angle first, right? One of the pink angle, which is FDC, right? So angle FDC, let's go 180, 180 minus 107. This will give us 72 degrees. Okay, all right, so 180 minus 107. Okay, oh sorry, 73 degrees. All right, so this is 73 degrees. So I see over here. Okay, so now we know that this is 70, that means this is 73. So we can say since CDE is half of a rhombus, right? So let me make this like that, right? That means CDE is an isosceles triangle. Okay, so that means angle FDEC is equal to angle. So let me just put angle, right, of ECD, right? CD, angle CED, right, which is also 73. So that means we can get the purple angle, right? So the purple angle is ECD. So angle ECD is equal to 180 minus 73 times 2. Okay, and let's use the calculator. 180 minus 73 times 2, which is 34 degrees. 34 degrees. Okay, so now we know that this purple angle is 34 degrees. We put purple. Let's get the green angle over here, which is angle ACD. So angle ACD is equal to 180 minus 110. Okay, and this gives us 70 degrees. Right, so this 70 degrees is this green angle over here. Right, let's put it over here. So this is 70 degrees. So we get this green angle and this purple angle. That means we get the red angle, which is what we want, right? Which is angle BCE is equal to 70 minus 34, which is 36, right? So let's double confirm. Always double confirm your um, calculations. 36. Great. So that's the answer. 36 degrees. All right, that's it. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, right, 36 degrees. Part B, find the sum of EFG and FGE. So EFG, right? So let me just put this in blue, EFG and FGE, like this. Okay, so okay, if only this was an easy, what do you call this? Vertically opposite, but it's not, sadly. Okay, so for FEG, what we need is we want to know what is how many degrees these 2 degrees are. Okay, so essentially, if we know EFG and FGE, we must also get this one. Am I running out of colors? Probably. So we need to get this yellow color one. All right. And that means we need to get the other angles, which is this angle and also this angle as well. Okay. So the thing is that we actually know this angle because this is a rhombus. So that means this is half. So that means this is 73 degrees as well. So let me just put this here as 73 degrees as well. Okay, then we also need to get this angle, right? Okay, so actually, since we know that this is 73 degrees, right? And then this, we can delete. The line here is straight, so we actually can get this angle. And if I'm correct, it should be 73 degrees lah. Okay, so in this case over here, we can write this down, right? So, angle, right? What's it called? DEG, EG is equal to angle, let me just put it here, is angle CED. So angle CED is equal to angle DEG, right? Which is equal to 73 degrees, right? Okay, so now we know that this is 73 degrees. So angle FEG, right, is equal to 180 minus 73, which is equal to 107 degrees. 180 minus 73 equal to 107 degrees. Okay, so then that means for FEG, so angle FGE plus angle FGE and EFG is equal to 180 minus 107, which is equal to 73 degrees. Okay, there you go. So that's your answer. Right, so that's it for this question over here. Okay. Alright, so question 16. The figure is formed by two large identical 3/4 circles and a small 3/4 circle with a square ABCD. Find the total area of the shaded parts. Okay, so we know that this is 14 centimeters. That means this is the radius, right? That means this other side is also 14 centimeters. Okay, so let me just draw this out. And this is also 14 centimeters in this case over here. So that means this whole thing will be 14 times 2, which is 28 centimeters, right? Okay, then since we know the area of the square, I mean the side of the square, you can get the area of the square and then minus the 3/4 circle over here. Okay, so let's get the area of 3/4 circle, like a Pac-Man, right? Is equal to 3/4 times pi times radius So the radius here is 3/4 times 22 out of 7. Oops, 7 times 14 times 14. Okay, and let's see what's the answer to this. So 22 out of 7 times 14 times 14. Okay, 616. Then times 3 out of 4. Okay, 462. So this is 462. Okay, and then after that we'll get the area of square, which is basically side times side, which is equal to 28 times 28, which is equal to 28 times 28, 784. Okay, so shaded parts, shaded area is equal to 784 minus 462. Okay, and this is equal to, let's just use a calculator. Right, so 784 minus 462. Okay, this is 322. 322 centimeter square. Okay, there you go. So 322 centimeter square. All right, let's move to the next question, part B. Right, find the parameter of the figure. All right, so of the whole figure itself. Okay, so we know that this is also 28. Let me just grab this. Um, so I'll just lay out all of the numbers. So 28 centimeters. Okay, so this is also 28 centimeters as well. So let me duplicate. This is also 28. So that means this is 28, 28, right, centimeters. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna put it here like this. So both are 28. Okay, and this is 14. Okay, this is 14. So it's over here. So I want to just cover the base of the lines. Okay, and this is also 14. Right. Okay, so this is also 14 as well. So we have the lines covered. Wait, let me just remove this. So 28, 28, 14, and then we have 14, and then we have the 3/4 parameter of the big circles. Okay, so for this area of 3/4 big circle is equal to, not area, parameter, okay, 2 times parameter of this, okay, this whole big circle, which is equal to 2 times 3 out of 4 times 2 pi r, 2 times pi times radius. Okay, so let me just move this out so it's easier to calculate. So this will be equal to 2 times 3 out of 4 times 2 times pi is still 22 out of 7, right? Okay, 22 out of 7 times radius, which is 28. Okay, so in this case, we can technically say 2 times 3 divided by 4 times 22 out of 7 times 28. Okay, 264. Right, so let me double confirm. So this should be 3 times 22 out of 7 times, times 28. 264, correct, centimeter. So these are the two parameter. So total parameter is equal to, in this case, 264, right, plus 28 plus 28 plus 14 plus 14, okay, which is basically 264 plus 28 times 3, 348, okay, centimeter. Right, so that's the answer lah, 348 centimeter. Okay, that's it for this part B. All right, let's move on to the last question. Okay, so the last question over here, 17. Figure number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of white circles, 4, 6, and 9. Number of gray circles, 2, 3, and 3. So, for this, how do we do it? How do we do it? Fill in the table for figure 4. So these are the pencil. 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, and then figure 3 increase as well. Okay, so if you see this over here, 2, and then it will just expand this and this as well. Okay, so the single circles over here, you will just add one more gray circles, so this will then become 4, right? 4, right? So for this, when you get a white circle, so the white circle increased by 2, so from 3 to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then this one, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7. So the next one will be plus 2, which is in this case 11 lah, right? Okay, so the next what do you call this, the next figure will only add one more gray, so it doesn't add one more what do you call this, white circle, so that's why it's 11 and 4. Okay, next one, what is the total number of white and gray circles in figure 425? Okay, so let's calculate. Let's have our own table over here. Let's use it as total. Okay, so total, right, in this case would then be, okay, let me just draw some lines. 1, then you have 2, then you have 3, then you have 4. Okay, so total will be this will be 6. Okay, then this will be 9, this will be 12, and this will be 15. So let's see over here. So you probably, yeah, can see the the what do you call this, okay, so from 6 to 9, this is basically plus 3, and then goes the same with everything else, right? Plus 3 and then plus 3. Okay, so it's essentially like start with 6 and then plus 3 plus 3. Okay, so right, figure 1 is equal to 6. Okay, so figure 2 is equal to 6 plus 3 equal to 9. Okay, figure 3 is equal to 6 plus 3 plus 3, which is equal to 12, right? So the whole thing will be basically, right, so figure n is equal to 6 times n, wait, because let me just, it's basically this 3 times 1, 3 times 2, so 3, so 6, sorry, 6 plus 3 times n minus 1, minus 1 here. Okay, so if you were to expand this, okay, which is equal to 6 plus 3n minus 3, which is 3n plus 3, right? So 3n is 3, 6, 9, 10. Oh yeah, correct. This case over here. Okay, so now 4 to 5, so figure 4 to 5 is equal to 4 to 5 times 3 plus 3. Okay, let's use the calculator. 4 to 5 times 3 plus 3, 1278. Okay, there you go. That's the answer. Okay, let's move on to C. In figure 4 to 5, what percentage of the circles are white? Round your answer to one decimal place. Okay, so if you look closely over here, right, um, there will always be two black balls, right? And then what we are more concerned is the white ones. Okay, so the white ones is, if we were to see this one, you will get 3 at the top, 2 we will get 5. So I will just put the pattern, because in this case the chain 2, 3, so 2, 3, 4, right? So for the white circles, we know that it's the chain over here, so this is just 1, right? So 1 divided, figure 1 is 1, right? Then 2 is just 2, then 3 will be, so 2 will still be 1, 3 will still be 2. So in essence, I would say it's basically, if it's even, it is still 1. If it's odd, it is 3. Okay, so if you have, like, for example, right, 3 minus, if there is figure 4, figure 4 will be 4 gray circles, but figure 4 will also have 2 white circles, right, at the bottom. So that means it's basically figure the bottom part, I would say lah. Okay, we have this bottom part. Okay, so 1 is just 1, 2 is just 2, right? 3 is just 3. So I would say any odd number plus 1 and divide by 2 for the bottom part in this case. So this is what we call the bottom part. Okay, let me just make this blue color. Okay, this is the bottom part, right? Okay, divided for the bottom part. So we know that that's the white one. Okay, so figure 4 to 5 bottom part is equal to 4 to 5 plus 1, right? If I'm not wrong. So figure 3 is plus 1 divided by 2, correct? 2, okay, and then divided by 2. Okay, and let's use this. So 4 to 6 divided by 2, this will be 213. 213. Okay, so we want to get the top part now. So the top part, it goes from this. So this is, right, let me use a red color one. So this is the top part. Okay, so top part in this case over here, right? So the top part over here is 3. Okay, 3. So I'm gonna also use the rectangle. Top part is 3. Top part is 5. Top part is that one. So top part, this is in this case 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is 7. Okay, pretty straightforward from this. Okay, so figure, so for this top part, right, figure 1 is equal to 3, figure 2 is equal to 5, figure 3 is equal to 7. Okay, for the top part in this case. So it's basically just plus 2. Same thing with this lah, right? So top part, so that means it's equal to dot dot dot. So this 3 is equal to 3 plus 3 is just 3, right? And then this is just 3 plus 2, and then this is equal to 3 plus 2 plus 2. So in this case, we know that it's basically fig n for the top part is equal to 3 plus 3 plus 2 times bracket n minus 1. Okay, and in this case, right, which is basically 3 plus 2n minus 2, which is 2n, basically is equal to 2n plus 1. So 2n plus 1, 2s plus 1, yes, correct, 2n plus 1, correct. Okay, so then for that, figure 2, figure 5 to 5 bottom part and top part. So figure 4 to 5, okay, top part is equal to 4 to 5 plus 1, no, 45, 2, 2 times 4 to 5 plus 1, okay, which is equal to 4 to 5 times 2 plus 1, which is 851. Okay, so now we got the top part and the bottom part. So bottom white part, I would say white part. Okay, top white part, ooh, white part, and figure 2 top white part. Okay, so total white part is equal to 213 plus 851 is equal to let's go 213 plus 851 is equal to 1064. Okay, so percentage of white is equal to 1064 out of 1278 times 100%. Okay, right, so let's do that. So divided by 1278 times 100%. 83.255. Okay, 83.25, oops, 55 dot dot dot. Okay, which is equal to 83.3%. Okay, there you go. So that's your answer, 83.3%. All right, so yeah, that's it for this question. Right, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more of this kind of video, subscribe down below and comment down what the things you want me to show you next. See you in the next one. Bye bye.